quick general warm-up before starting a dribbling session. Players in opposite corners receive a pass from their partner before running towards each other, doing a trick in the middle. The initial pass makes the practice more realistic and game-related. The player receives the ball, must control it into the direction he wishes to go, and then move. Younger players can start with the ball stationary at their feet. Again, it would be appropriate for the coach to call a turn so that players in the middle go in the same direction, either to their left or right. Players play a 3v3 game and attempt to get into the opposite end zone. This practice forces many 1v1 challenges, which will encourage dribbling. Players are encouraged to shield the ball with their body as they run by using the foot furthest from the defending player in the dribble. Players are encouraged to use as many tricks as possible and use their imagination to experiment, even if they are unsuccessful. This practice must have an ultimate objective for the players, and this is to exploit space behind the last defender with positive forward runs or dribbles. Attacking players are encouraged to drag defenders out of good covering positions to create the space to be exploited. Players of any age enjoy volleying practices. Correct volley techniques are both a joy to watch for spectators and for the player to execute. It is the one technique that players never seem to tire of practicing. Players move either side of two marker cones and volley to their partner using their instep first. As with our passing practices earlier, the movement of the player before the volley makes a practice more game-related. The players then progress to using an outstep volley, an unusual technique but fun to do. Players move along the line of servers, playing a volley pass back. Movement and lots of touches are therefore encouraged. Players should keep on their toes as they wait for the end player to move back to the start. The same drill used in a chest volley technique. Thigh volley, head volley can also be used. As a normal game is played on the move, we try to encourage movement within all these practices. The players must really concentrate in this set of drills. In this practice, players are again forced to come off at an angle, move and volley back to the server. These drills can be progressed to a small-sided game seen in a while. Players are encouraged to use different foot surfaces to play the volley. Players in a grid run to any server, receive and pass back on the volley. Again, as players are always on the move, this drill can be used as part of a general team warm-up. The movement also forces players to receive balls from various angles and distances and use varying surfaces of both feet, and so developing their volleying technique. A 2v2 volley game where players must volley from one end of the grid to another. Improvisation and good technique are encouraged. Opposing players attempt to intercept the ball and then volley themselves. To keep the practice flowing, if players cannot volley the ball, they can either catch or head it. Heading practices with normal footballs may not start until players reach under 13 level. At that stage, the following practices can be used. We start with a basic drill where the player pulls the ball into his head and heads to a partner. This encourages the player to use his forehead and to use his neck muscles for power. The practice gets young players used to heading the ball with the correct surface and realise that it does not hurt. Incidentally, with younger players, deflate the ball slightly for initial heading practices. With the youngest players, the use of foam balls is a good starting point. For older players, they can be made to start on the floor and jump up to head the ball. This will encourage good spring to give extra height. A similar drill to the volleying practice used earlier, where movement is introduced. Again, concentration levels are high and players need to stay on their toes. Now introduce a passive defender in front of the heading player. This gets the player used to playing with some opposition. A heading game where two players take turns to set up and head through two marker cones. Players are encouraged to head the ball downwards by getting over the ball. Also, power is needed for success. With many of these drills, a competitive element can be introduced. In this game, winning pairs can move up along to the next grid. Losing pairs move down. The top grid can be the stadium of your choice, Wembley or San Siro. Set up and head. Who wins? Many team-related drills can start with the players using their hands to catch the ball. The coach can then go over his key points for the session without concern over foot control. Players are also more receptive to listening and keeping their heads up for the same reasons. It also gets players used to the movement that will be required when the ball is eventually played on the floor. In this practice, receiving the ball in the hand is the first stage in teaching the player a good open body position to receive the ball. Players are encouraged to receive the ball on the half turn, pass to a player on the outside and move off to receive a ball from another player. The same drill progresses to having the ball on the floor. Good open body position is again encouraged. Groups of 4 players pair off. One player comes out to receive the ball on the half turn and passes to his teammate, and they rotate positions. Players are also encouraged to receive the ball on their back foot. Players play in threes. 2 players come out at an angle and interpass before playing the ball back to the third man, who plays the ball into the next 3. The player should be encouraged to go back to a central start point if possible, enabling them to rotate positions each time they come out. Now players play in threes across a grid, transferring the ball from one side to another. Awareness of position of other players is now important, as well as opening up the body. Goalkeeping is a specialised subject, and many teams now have their own goalkeeping coach. We have included some practices in this programme that will help your keeper in various ways. Good footwork movement, a good set position before a shot, agility and coordination are also demonstrated in this next set of practices. In this drill, good footwork is encouraged. The goalkeeper moves around the cones, jumps over the hurdle and sets himself to catch the ball. The goalkeeper must not cross his feet, and short, quick, sideways steps are encouraged as he moves around the cones. See how the goalkeeper glides his feet along the surface and stays on his toes. The coach or server starts by throwing the ball into the goalkeeper's chest. As a progression, the coach now kicks the ball in, adding power and encouraging good hand shape from the goalkeeper. His hand should form a W shape with thumbs almost touching whilst catching the ball. As a progression, the coach now throws the ball wide so that the keeper needs to dive. Make sure that the keeper's hands are forward of his body as he collects the ball. The keeper makes a save on one side, passes the ball back to the coach and immediately makes a diving save in the opposite direction. The coach now serves the ball straight at the goalkeeper along the floor. The keeper needs to set his position and then scoop the ball into his chest. The ball can also be served below waist height. A scoop is again the best way to save the ball. Note the way his body shapes up to collect the ball, making a K shape as his leg bends at the knee. In this practice, two servers are used and the keeper makes two saves in quick succession following a small jump over a hurdle and a set. This encourages and helps develop quick reflexes. The goalkeeper is always bouncing lightly on his toes so that his feet are close to the ground. This is essential if he is to react and move quickly to save a shot. Shots are varied and can be hit low, high, or combined to test and push the keeper. Agility and coordination prior to a save are used in the following series of drills. If the keeper can get two hands to the ball, he should be encouraged to hold it. These practices can be very demanding, particularly with younger keepers, and so work on a very few high-quality repetitions rather than too many repetitions where quality will be reduced. See the good set position prior to the save being made. The same practice set up, but the goalkeeper now goes under the hurdle first and then attempts to make a save by diving over the hurdle. This time, the keeper bounces over the hurdle before diving back in the opposite direction to make a save. The jumping will help develop the keeper's spring. As an alternative, two hurdles can be used. The keeper moves under, over, sets and saves. Note the keeper's hand position, catching the ball in front of his body. Also, he does not fall onto his arm, but onto the side of his body. The keeper now attempts to save the ball by diving over a second hurdle, after going under the first hurdle. Three servers are used with varying obstacles in this next set of practices. Many combinations can be used, but don't overdo it. Allow the keeper plenty of rest between each drill. The same practice, but changing the layout of the traffic cones. Our intention in this program has been to offer you some ideas that may be used to complement some of your own training drills, particularly on improving individual player technique. All of the practices shown in this program can be adapted to suit your particular needs and session objectives. Program 2 progresses to more team-orientated drills. Don't forget that grid areas used can always be varied to change the difficulty of the practice, and the number of players may vary dependent upon squad numbers. Generally, making